Hello ladies and gents, Hagbard Celine here on another beautiful afternoon, and today I'm going to be doing another reading from Politically Correct Bedtime Stories. This time, we're going to be reading The Three Little Pigs. Once, there were three little pigs who lived together in mutual respect and in harmony with their environment. Using materials that were indigenous to the area, they each built a beautiful house. One pig built a house of straw, one a house of sticks, and one a house of dung, clay, and creeper vines shaped into bricks and baked in a small kiln. When they were finished, the pigs were satisfied with their work and settled back to live in peace and self-determination. But their idyll was soon shattered. One day, along came a big, bad wolf with expansionist ideas. He saw the pigs and grew very hungry, in both the physical and an ideological sense. When the pigs saw the wolf, they ran into the house of straw. The wolf ran up to the house and banged on the door, shouting, little pigs, let me in." The pigs shouted back, "Your gunboat tactics hold no fear for pigs defending their homes and culture." But the wolf wasn't to be denied what he thought was his manifest destiny. So he huffed and puffed and blew down the house of straw. The frightened pigs ran to the house of sticks, with the wolf in hot pursuit. Where the house of straw had stood, the other wolves bought up the land and started a banana plantation. At the house of sticks, the wolf again banged on the door and shouted, little pigs, let me in." The little pig shouted back, "Go to hell, you carnivorous imperialistic oppressor." At this, the wolf chuckled condescendingly. He thought to himself, they are so childlike in their ways, it will be a shame to see them go, but progress cannot be stopped. So, the wolf huffed and puffed and blew down the house of sticks. The pigs ran to the house of bricks, with the wolf close at their heels. Where the house of sticks had stood, other wolves built a timeshare condo resort complex for vacationing wolves, with each unit a fiberglass reconstruction of the house of sticks, as well as native curio shops, snorkeling, and dolphin shows. At the house of bricks, the wolf again banged on the door and shouted, little pigs, let me in." This time, in response, the little pigs sang songs of solidarity and wrote letters of protest to the United Nations. By now, the wolf was getting angry at the pigs' refusal to see the situation from a carnivore's point of view. So he huffed and puffed and huffed and puffed, then grabbed his chest and fell over of a massive heart attack, brought on by eating too many fatty foods. The three little pigs rejoiced that justice had triumphed and did a little dance around the corpse of the wolf. Their next step was to liberate their homeland. They gathered together a band of pigs who'd been forced off their lands. This brigade of porcinistas attacked the resort complex with machine guns and rocket launchers and slaughtered the cruel wolf oppressors, sending a clear signal to the rest of the hemisphere not to meddle in their internal affairs. Then, the pigs set up a model socialist democracy with free education, universal healthcare, and affordable housing for everyone. Please note the wolf in the story was a metaphysical construct. No actual wolves were harmed during the writing of the story. Well, ladies and gents, that's the Three Little Pigs story, and seems to have ran kinda short.
Hagbard.
Fuck up. I haven't heard from you in a while.
Hagbard, can we do one more story before bed?
Okay, one more it is. Let's just see which one. Ah, yes. The Emperor's New Clothes. Far away, in a time long past, there lived a traveling tailor who found himself in an unfamiliar country. Now, tailors who move from place to place normally keep to themselves and are careful not to overstep the bounds of local decency. This tailor, though, was overly gregarious and decorum impaired, and soon he was at a local inn abusing alcohol, invading the personal space of female employees, and telling unenlightened stories about tinkerers, dung gatherers, and other tradespeople. The innkeeper complained to the police, who grabbed the tailor and dragged him in front of the emperor. As you might expect, a lifetime of belief in the absolute legitimacy of the monarch and in the inherent superiority of males had turned the emperor into a vain and wisdom-challenged tyrant. The tailor noticed these traits and decided to use them to his advantage. The emperor asked, "Do you have any last requests before I banish you from my domain forever?" The tailor replied, "Only if your majesty allow me the honor of crafting a new royal wardrobe. For I have brought with me a special fabric that is so rare and fine that it can only be seen by certain people. The type of people you'd want to have in your realm. People who are politically correct, morally righteous, intellectually astute, culturally tolerant, and who don't smoke, drink, laugh at sexist jokes, watch too much television, listen to country music, or barbecue." After a moment's thought, the emperor agreed to this request. He was flattered by the fascist and testosterone-heavy idea that the empire and its inhabitants existed only to make him look good. It would be like having a trophy wife and multiplying that feeling by 100,000. Of course, no such rarefied fabric existed. Years of living outside the bounds of normal society had forced the tailor to develop his own moral code that had obliged him to swindle and embarrass the emperor in the name of independent craftspeople everywhere. So, as he diligently labored, he was able to convince the emperor that he was cutting and sewing pieces of fabric that, in the strictest objective sense of reality, didn't exist. When the tailor announced that he was finished, the emperor looked at his new robes in a mirror. As he stood there, naked as the day he was born, one could see how many years of exploiting the peasantry had turned his body into an ugly mass of puffy white flesh. The emperor, of course, saw this too, but pretended that he could see the beautiful, politically correct robes. To show off his new splendor, he ordered a parade to be held the next day. On the following morning, his subjects lined the streets for the big parade. Word had spread about the emperor's new clothes that only enlightened people with healthy lifestyles could see, and everyone was determined to be more right-minded than his or her neighbor. The parade began with great hoopla as the emperor marched his pale, bloated, patriarchal carcass down the street. Everyone oohed and awed at his beautiful new clothes, all except one small boy, who shouted, "The emperor's naked!" The parade stopped. The emperor paused. A hush fell over the crowd, until one quick-thinking peasant shouted, "No, he isn't. The emperor is merely endorsing a clothing-optional lifestyle." A cheer went up from the crowd, and the throng stripped off their clothes and danced in the sun, as nature had intended. The country was clothing-optional from that day forward, and the tailor, deprived of any livelihood, packed up his needle and thread and was never heard from again. That's it for me, ladies and gents. I hope you enjoyed this little read, and I hope you'll be back next week for more. And as usual, stay safe, good luck, and goodbye.
Goodbye.